So one dumbbell, tall side of your chair, the back end, or maybe a ledge, piece of furniture. But let's get started. One dumbbell, chair. The weight is going to be in the hand that's farthest away from the chair. The leg that's down and grounded is going to be the leg that's closest to the chair. So I'm starting with the chair on my left side. So my left leg is down. My right hand is holding on to the weight. My left leg is bent a little bend in the knees, and try to feel all your weight on the heels, or heel, singular, right? So heel, a little bit of the side of your foot, ball of the foot by the big toe. Your arch should be lifted a little. Now, if you can, a little bit of a bicep curl. Work on your balance. Start moving the arm, bringing the weight up towards your shoulder. You can get a little fancy and twist your wrist so that you're getting a little bit of a different contraction in the bicep, hitting a different muscle head. Biceps have two muscles. And so when you give it a little twist and turn, you change the area of focus in that bicep. One more. And now let's go to the other side. So for you at home, you can just turn around and do a 180. But I'm going to move the chair over to the other side. So now the chair is on my right side. Right leg down. Left hand holding on to the weight. Posture is real tall. Think about your core. Start moving the weight. Holding on to the chair. Think about your core. Keep that posture nice and tall. Again, if you want to do that little twist with your hand as you bring the weight up. Just focusing on a little bit of a different bicep head compared to keeping the hand neutral. Focusing on the outer bicep. This one gets the inner bicep. Little bend in that standing leg, right? Your knee is slightly bent. Strong core. Posture tall. Always want to think about your posture, no matter what. Always. Good posture. One more. All right, let's go back to the same side that we began with. Okay, so now, if that was good for you, and that was as challenging as you wanted it to be, you're going to do that again. For those of you who are ready for another level up or progression up, more of a challenge, you're going to remove that hand. So your hand is no longer resting or utilizing that chair, that piece of furniture, and now you're trying to balance as you're moving. So left leg is down, closest to the chair. Chair's on my left side. Right hand is holding on to the weight. A little twist at the top. Strong through your core. Now, when you move that weight, you want to go slowly. Remember, a little bend in the knee on that standing leg. Keep that leg bent. Flex that stomach. Use your chair as needed. And if it's tough for you to move the weight, then try to hold. Hold the weight where your forearm is parallel to the ground. Have a focal point, something to stare at. And work on your balance and work on your bicep at the same time. So this is if you have trouble moving the weight up and down, because that movement can throw off your balance. Let's do one more. And then we'll go to the other side. Change hands, change legs. So we start off right leg down, right? The chair's on your right side. Little bend in the standing leg. Posture's real tall. Think about your core. Nice and easy as you balance. Always get your balance first and get your posture where you want it, right? With good core engagement. Then once you feel strong and stable there, you let go of the chair, then you start moving the weight. So it's progressions. You want to work up to it. And remember, if it's tough to move the weight up and down, you can just hold where your forearm is parallel to the floor, a little bend in the standing leg, right? Strong stomach, pull in the belly button, have a focal point, something to stare at. Maybe you can do one repetition and then come right back to holding. So kind of just play with it, see where you're at, see what your body can handle. Challenge yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. I'm only giving you what I think will challenge you, but you have to make it work for yourself, right? You're going to have to try it on your own and make adjustments because every person is different. You really start to feel this in your hip, your glute. And one more. All right. Have a seat. Moving on. Moving on. We're going to hold on to that dumbbell, though. We're going to work on our core. Start really, really light. Water bottle. If you have like a 2-pounder, that should be good. 3-pounder is good. You don't want to go too heavy on this one. So, your legs are out in front of you. Sitting close to the edge of your chair. Bring the weight to your chest. Sit real, real tall. Tighten up your stomach. Bring those elbows out to the side a little bit. So you're lifting your elbows up, raising your arms out to the side. But your hands are in close to the chest. The weight is in close to the chest. So you're going to lean back and twist to the right. And think about bringing your right elbow down towards the floor, but keeping the weight close to your chest. Now from here, start to come back up a little bit with the weight and your upper body, and then press the weight up overhead. And then come right back down to the chest. Begin to lean back a little, twist to your right. We're sticking with the right side. Right side only. Come back to center. You're still leaning back a little bit and you're raising the weight up. Coming right back down to the chest. That's 2. We're going to go for 10. Reach to the right with your right elbow. Reach up with both hands. Come down. You're still leaning back. Right? You're always leaning back slightly, even on the press. All right, then as you turn and rotate, you can lean back a little bit more to get a bigger core engagement. As you start to come up to the front, you can sit up out of it a little bit or sit a little taller. And then as you reach back, you can lean back or recline backwards, however you want to think about it. And if you really want a challenge, you just stay in that deep reclined position the entire time. All right, let's do 2 more. We're almost there. Now we don't stop. Right? So once we're done with this right side, we're going to immediately go into the left side, which is what we're going to do right now. So now you're going to turn to your left, reaching with the left elbow, coming back to center, reach up, come down, go to your left, back to center, reach up. That's 2. So remember to stay strong through your core. Flex that stomach. There's 4. Try to keep those heels down. 5. We are halfway there. 6. Tight, tight tummy. 7. 8. Stay strong through the core. Keep that belly button sucked in. Tight, tight tummy. 9. Last one. Reach up. Easy. Come all the way down. Relax. Take a breather. Get some water. Good job. Those were a little tough. Great on the core though. Little breather, get some water. Let's move on. Let's work on some lower body stability a little more. And we'll get our posture in there as well. So, grab your dumbbell, one dumbbell. Hold on to it right in front of your clavicle or underneath your chin. We're going to do some squats. So your feet are tucked in, flat on the ground. Feet and knees are the same width apart, so you kind of feel the ground and see what's good for you. What's a good width for your body? Me personally, I'm around shoulder width apart, and that feels good for me. So strong core, sit tall, lean forward, dig your heels into the ground as you stand up. And go all the way down and sit all the way down. Get into a tall seated position. So you're coming back, sitting real tall. Right? Holding onto that leg right in front of the chest underneath your chin. Suck in the belly button. Start to lean forward. Dig the heels into the ground. Stand up. Start to dig those heels into the ground as you sit all the way back down. You sit tall, right? So we come back to this tall seated position where you're kind of taking a break. And then we lean forward again. Slowly, stand up, slowly, sit down, load the heels. Right? And then come all the way back, sit tall, flex the stomach, stand all the way up. So if it's tough with the weight, remove the weight. If it's tough to sit all the way down and sit all the way back up, if you have some type of pillow, something you can put on top of the chair so that you're more elevated, so that you're not getting a full range of motion or a really big, deep squat. So you can sit on top of a big cushion of some kind or pillow. Something to elevate you a little higher. Remember to sit tall, right? Take that quick little break. Engage your core. Lean into it. Stand up nice and tall. Strong through your core. Easy on the way down. Sit real tall. So we're really making this functional. Because usually in life, when we do this, it's just a one-time thing, and then we do the activity. So if we're sitting down on the couch and we need to get some water or whatever it is, you sit up, you get all the way up, you go do your activity, and then you come all the way back down and you sit back down on the couch. So it's a one-time kind of thing. So it's not like you're doing 5 squats to get to the bathroom or to go to the kitchen, right? So that's why we're breaking it down into really good segments. Where we're sitting tall, we're getting that good core engagement, leaning into it, digging the heels into the ground, continuing to flex the stomach and dig the heels into the ground as you sit all the way back down and you get nice and tall. Let's do one more, last one, and then we're moving on. And sit all the way back down, get nice and tall, easy as you put the weight down. Great, good job. Very functional move. I really like that move. Use it for everything. Let's work on our backs. Our back, our arms, shoulders, posture really. So, use your chair, grab one dumbbell. Let's do some rows. These are a great exercise. If you have the ability or the equipment to go a little heavier, go a little heavier on these. This is one exercise where I recommend you would want to go heavy just to really get that good strength and kind of therapeutic rehabilitation, where we're really trying to develop some strength and give you that good posture alignment to help you bring those shoulder blades up and back. So I really like this move. I'm going to start with my right hand. So that means my right leg is back, left leg is forward, left hand is on top of this chair. I'm using the tall side of the chair. You also have the option to have your hand on top of your thigh, elbow down on top of your thigh, whatever works, whatever feels good for you. You can even have your hand on the seat of the chair. And I'm going to stop messing around. So here we go. I'm just going to use the seat of the chair. Here we go. The weight's going to start off right below the shoulder. And we're going to pull that weight towards your hip. And we go right back down. Pull in towards the hip. Right back down. Bring it in. We're going to go for 12. That's 3, 4. So breathe in on the way down. Exhale as you pull up. That's 5. Continue to flex your stomach. 6, 7. Breathe out as you pull. 8, 9. And pull the weight to your hips. 10, 11. One more. 12, and now we switch. So we stand up, we switch hands, we're going to switch legs. So I'm going to work my left arm. So my right hand is down, right leg is forward, left leg is back, left arm is rowing. So start off with that weight straight down below the shoulder, and we pull that weight towards the hip. We call it your hip pocket, right? That's 2, 3. Strong core. Use your arm, right, your right arm for support. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Last one. And 12. All right, let's switch sides. Let's do that again. One more time through. Left leg forward, right leg back. Right hand holding on to the weight. Left hand on top of the chair. And let's pull that weight right towards the hip pocket. Here's 2, 3. If you think about 4, if you think about your pockets in your jeans, that's where you're kind of bringing your hands, right, towards that general area. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. Moving on. Other side. So your hip pockets, 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 pockets. Your hip pockets, pulling that weight towards that general area. Here we go. Right leg forward, right hand down, left leg back, left hand, hold it onto the weight, pull in towards that hip pocket. There's 2, 3. Remember to breathe. Exhale as you pull. 4. Stay strong through that core, right? Tight tummy. Remember to breathe. Use that front leg and that front arm to help you out. There's 10, 11, and 12. All right. Moving on. Continuing to work in a functional capacity. We're going to use a weight, that same weight that you've been using for your rows. Let's get it into the other hand though. Let's get that arm that was just working a break. Posture's real tall. We're going to do what's called the farmer's carry. So holding onto the weight in one side, shoulders up and back, so you want to elevate and bring those shoulder blades together, lift them up. It's almost as if you're shrugging towards your ears, shoulders go back, and you start to squeeze those shoulder blades together, and then let them sink down. Tighten up the stomach. Stand real tall. Keep those shoulders back. Now try not to tilt to the side as you walk to the front. Couple of steps, then walk backwards. Right? Be mindful of your area. Be mindful if there's a wall behind you, be careful. Right? And you're just going back and forth, continuing to think about the stomach, standing and walking really, really tall. Right? Good tall posture. Keeping those shoulders back. Trying not to let that weight sway and move. Right? You don't want that weight to move forward and swing forward as if you were just doing a normal walking pattern. Try to keep it in close, keep it still. Keep your posture real tall. Try not to lean to the side. Don't overcompensate by leaning to the opposite side, but also pay attention and don't get lazy and let it pull you down. Right? You want to be tall. Flex the stomach. One more time to the front and back. And again, it's about 4 or 5 steps to the front, 4 or 5 steps to the back. And once you get back to your starting position, switch hands. Again, thinking about lifting, elevating those shoulder blades, shrugging, and then squeezing the shoulder blades together and then letting them sink down. Tighten up the tummy. Nice and easy. Walk forward. And then come back. Again, trying not to lean to one side. Walking tall. Try to be as tall as you can. Flex your stomach. Keep the weight still, close to the leg. Don't let the weight swing. Easy as you go backwards. If going backwards is tough, then you can just turn around and walk back. Or you can just walk around your room. If you have a big room, you have the space, you just do a big little loop. But you're still moving slow. Right? You're moving with intent to keep your good alignment all throughout your body, to keep the weight from swinging. Right? You're in control. You control the weight. Don't let the weight control you. Right? So you got to stay strong. Hold that body alignment through the shoulders and core. One more time to the front and back. All right. Go back to the other side. One more time through. Strong through your core. If you want more of a challenge, you're going to bring the weight up to your shoulder. Flex the stomach. Tighten up the tummy. Now you're going to walk. All right, so this is if you want a challenge or if you want to switch it up a little bit. Again, those same rules apply. All right, flexing the core, walking tall, trying not to lean to one side. Good spinal alignment, nice and tall posture. So whatever works for you, you can either keep your arm down like we've been doing, or you can bring the weight up and hold it up here. Really, really tough and challenging is above. The waiter's carrot is what they call this one. So very functional for those waiters out there, right? Which isn't any of you coming down. All right, so continue forward, flexing the stomach. I guess the only time you're raising your hand up is to actually get a waiter, but we're not doing that anymore. How sad. Ugh. When are we going to get that feeling back? One day, someday soon, we'll get back to it. Almost there. Once you get back to where you began, you're going to switch sides. And we're almost done. All right, other side. So remember, tall posture. Engage your core. Really get a good secure position with your arm, whether you're up at your shoulder height or you're down. Make sure your shoulders are really good, strong and stable. Lift up, bring them back. If your arm is straight, and come up. Let's go for it. Walking to the front. And then coming back. So this just adds a little bit more of a challenge to the farmer's carry. You really have to think about that core. Try not to lean. Be careful, be mindful of your surroundings. Pick up your feet, right? Don't drag your feet. Careful steps. Don't rush. Continue to pull in the stomach. Keep working it. We're almost there. Let's do one more time to the front and back. Or maybe a lap in your home, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing. Start to finish up and make your way back to the chair. And bring that weight down. Go back to your chair. You can put your weight down. Let's finish with a little stretching. Just a quick little stretch. We're almost done. Okay, so I'd like to think that most of you have a piece of furniture somewhere close by. Hopefully, maybe you're right by your desk. But if you can't, if you can get your hands on top of something that's right around shoulder height, and you're going to get your hands right on top of that object, and then from there, your legs, you're in your chair, by the way. You're still in your chair, you're just moving your chair over to a tall shelf, or maybe dresser, or dining table, or the back end of the sofa, or maybe your bed. What you're going to try to do is just get your hands up on top, whatever object you can, and then try to bring your head down in between your arms. Your feet are really, really wide. Your feet are out, knees are wide, out to the side, right? And you're trying to keep your hands on top of that object and bring your head down below your arms. And you should start to feel a really big stretch through your rib cage, armpit area. Maybe you might feel a little something into the shoulder, the top of your upper arm. Yes, that's what we're stretching. If it's painful, you lay off, right? We never do it if it's painful, right? We just find something else to do instead. So that's a nice little stretch to give you that full range of motion. It helps people bring their arms overhead. Because if you think about it, I just had my head in my arms. Technically, they were overhead, but I was in a horizontal plane of motion. So that's how they help people increase their range of motion, get your arms overhead. All right, so just little tricks for you if it is indeed tough for you to get your arms up. Let's stretch out the back of our arms now, bringing one arm in front of the chest, across the chest now, and bringing it in with that free hand or forearm. So I have my right arm across my body out to the side, and my left arm is kind of hooking that right arm and bringing it in. So you can see I have my forearm, literally my elbow is inside, in between my bicep and my forearm, and I am curling it in, I'm bringing it in. And so you feel a little stretch there on the outer part of your deltoid. Switch sides. So now the left arm is going to go across. You're going to get it rested inside that right arm. So now that left elbow is right in between your right bicep and forearm. And you're just pulling it in, squeezing. Right? So now you're hooking it the other way. Remember the other arm. And then the last one, which can be a little challenging to set up, is you touch your shoulder with your finger, right? So right hand touching the right shoulder. Try to get that elbow up, that right elbow reaching up towards the ceiling. Push up from below or pull from above. And you're trying to get that arm, your arm is bent and you're trying to get it behind your head. Or you're pushing from below and you're just trying to get it perpendicular to the ground. So it just depends on your mobility. Again, this helps out a lot with having your arms or bringing your arms above your head. So really feel the triceps in this one. And of course, the triceps lead into that shoulder joint. So it's good to work on those and loosen them up. Take a little less pressure off the shoulder joint. Switch arms now. So the left hand touching the top of the left shoulder. Get that left elbow to point up. You're either pushing from below or pulling from up above based on your mobility. Now you're stretching out the back of your upper arm, the tricep. You might feel it in that armpit rib cage area. That's okay. And we are all done, ladies and gents. How about the figure four, actually? When was the last time you did the figure four? Anyone? Probably I'll get Friday's class. So, figure four, cross that leg over. We've done this one before. It's a tough one. Great for the hips. Great to give yourself a little bit of low back support. If it's tough to lean into it like the way I am, right, you can just lean back and have your arm extended out, or you're just holding it without any kind of assistance at all. Everyone's different, right? So kind of have to play with it, see what works for you. Sometimes you just need to cross the knees, just cross those legs at the knees. Sometimes that is all some people can do as well. Other side, last one. My right side is the worst, so I'm going to finish with this and spend a little extra time on it. We are almost done. Great work today. A little bit of everything. Balance, posture, core as always. A lot of strength with those rows and the squats. A little bit of everything. And we are all done, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for joining today. Great job. Bravo. Until next time.